Good morning, everybody. So I would like to do a little video today about something that's going on in Facebook. Nobody seems to have noticed this, and as a marketer, it's really, really interesting. And people say game changing quite a lot, but what's going on here really is game changing. Facebook just seem to be slipping little things in, slipping little things into the back end, slipping little things into the pixel. Nobody's really noticing. There's no fuss about it, um, but it's real significant. So let's take a look at what they're doing, what my take is on what they're doing, and how that is likely to affect marketers. So let's take the first thing, Pixel. Um, Facebook have introduced a couple of things recently. One is a view category event. And for the sake of argument, and we're going to talk in Shopify terms, although bear in mind that the Pixel is good across all stores, not just Shopify. Could be blogs, could be whatever. Pixel's good across everything. So let's just talk in Shopify terms. What view category seems to be is a collection pixel. So we had view content, which is a product pixel, so we know what product has been viewed. View category basically includes the Google product category with the pixel fire to show the types of things that you are looking at. And also it includes an array of products within that, of the most popular things within that category. Big deal, right? Okay, so what that really means is Facebook, for the first time ever, knows what you're looking at. It knew the products, but now it knows the category. So if you're browsing different pages across the internet, it knows what those pages are. All of a sudden, it can build up a lot stronger targeting on you. You know, if you keep looking at a certain type of page across the internet, it knows what that type of page is, and it attaches that to you as a person, as an audience, and says this person's interested in this type of thing. Okay, so what that means is targeting just got a whole load more stronger, and they just slipped that one in. What it means for you within Shopify is you need to include the Google product category in the pixel event for your collections. You can't do that because you can't attach a Google category to a collection. So if you're using the Shopify app for Google Shopping, you can attach a category to a product, but you can't do it for a collection. So use the Pixel Perfect app. That's a shameless plug because I wrote the app. And within that app, you have the ability to set that per category. So if you're a general store and you're selling t-shirts, pots and pans, something else, you can set per niche the information that's included within that, and the app will automatically send the top 10 best-selling things within that collection within the pixel fire. So that's a real interesting thing. Another little thing that they've slipped in, if you're in America, which most of us aren't, let's face it, but if you are in America, you have the option to include personal information in the purchase event about a customer for matching. So what does that mean? That means normally you would have a purchase event. It would say the products that have been bought and the currency. So this is the order value, this is what's been bought. Now what Facebook allows you to do is include the email address of the person that bought it, the phone number, the name, the last name, the city, the zip code. Okay. This kind of scary shit, because now what Facebook can do is absolutely match to the person what that person bought. Before it was shooting in the dark a bit. It kind of looks like this person, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So it was fairly accurate, but not that accurate. Now it's 100% accurate. So it knows that Tony has bought these products on this store. But now it's got that matching information. It knows who Tony is because we've told it the email address and all the other things. So it can match its pixel for Tony with Tony. Before it might have struggled with that. We match all these other things to it 100%. So it knows when it sees my pixel, it may be, it may not be. Now it knows it absolutely is me because we've given it the matching information. And it knows my browsing habits across the internet because we've got the view category event that is showing what Tony's looked at. In the olden marketing days, people used to buy lists. They used to buy email lists. They used to buy telephone number lists. You pick a niche. People who bought Ford cars, and you would go and buy a list of the people who bought Ford cars. So all these things are going on in the real world of what's happened in the past. Facebook now has the email address, the phone number. It can match all of that information to these lists in the past. So Facebook can also suddenly drag in information from the real world and add it to its profile information for you on Facebook. So that's a couple of little things that are quite scary. So we know the exact person and exactly what their interests are now. Never knew that before. Now that is frightening. Okay, so that's kind of good. If you take a look in the back end at custom conversions, it was quite difficult to build a custom conversion. It was quite messy. I mean, you could do it, but it was messy. What Facebook have slipped in there recently, and nobody's really noticed, is the ability to build a custom conversion, and they call it on a category. But actually what they're talking about is the ability to build a custom conversion on a Google product category. Now, bearing in mind, we've got a Google product category for products, we've got Google product category for purchases, and we've just added Google product category for collections. So now we've got a common currency across everything. And I think that's where they're going, at building custom conversions, custom audiences, segregating out the product category, because you can do that on Google product category as well. So you can segment out your product category on Google product category. So you've now got a niche category, a niche conversion, and what you don't have yet is the niche audience. I think they're working on that. So I think very soon you'll be able to, and that's the reason they've got the view category event, is that you'll be able to build an audience based on category. So based on what people have looked at on your site, the Google product category, you'll be able to build an audience on the back of that. How easy is that? So we select people that have looked at the niche. We select the product category for dynamic product ads, which is based on the niche. And then we select the conversion optimization event, which is based on the niche. Bingo. And people have been doing that for a long time, but it's been quite difficult to do that. You need quite a skill set to do that. So we now have a common currency of Google product category. So what Facebook have said about the testing that they've done on including the customer matching information with the purchase event is that they've seen a 10 to 20% increase in conversion rate. Now that's conversion rate, not value. So that's interesting. So if you had 100 conversions, you can expect to see 110 to 120 conversions if you include that information with the pixel. Now, there's a guy who writes the app that enables that. I'm not sure what I feel about that. It's getting a bit Big Brother. So what we're going to do within our app is we're going to put a checkbox there that says you have got the consent of your customer to do that. So it's up to you to get the terms and conditions, the privacy policy on your website to say we may share your information with a third party. You have to check our box to say you agree with that, and you have to check another box to enable that information with the event. Currently only available to North America. We'll see how it rolls out. But this is frightening. This is really frightening. First time ever Facebook knows who you are, what your browsing habits are, not just across e-commerce stores like Shopify, but across all stores, because that pixel event is valid for everything, not just e-commerce. And it can marry that up to your not even your browsing events, but your real life off of the internet. You buy a warranty, you give your email address and your phone number. You go and buy a car, you give your email address and phone number. You buy a house or some jewelry, you tend to do these things. Pay bills, you have an email address and phone number. Facebook can acquire all of that through third-party data sharing agreements and absolutely match it using your email address. So expect to see targeting get a lot more targeted. I think one of the things that will happen with people that have the money to put where their mouth is, basically. If you've got $1 million, you can start targeting high-end stuff like cars, for example, because we know you bought a car, or Facebook is going to be able to know that you bought a car with a warranty a year ago, or it's on a 12-month lease, or you bought it 2 years ago and it's on a 2-year lease. Your lease is up because it has that information. It's going to be able to target you going, car's up, lease is up, would you like a new car? And also, for the first time ever, because it knows 100% who you are now with that information in the purchase pixel. It knows the volume of what you spend. So you might be a browser, you might buy a little bit, but you might spend moderately. You might spend a few $100s a month online. You might spend a few $100,000 a year online. And I think when it comes to targeting, you will be able to select which of those groups you want to target. Free-ish, not cheap traffic will be browsers. It'll get a little more expensive if you want to target people that spend a bit of money. It'll get a lot more expensive if you want to target the high rollers. But if you start to target the high rollers, you can sell Rolexes, you can sell Porsches, you can sell houses, you can sell swimming pools, you can sell the stuff that high rollers buy at high dollar value. Who gives a shit if it's $100 click if you're going to make $10,000 on the back of that sale? So I think they'll emerge people that have got the money, that are willing to take the risk because they're confident in their ability to convert these things into sales. They know the predictability of it. They know if they put X in, they'll get Y out. They have the balls to do it. They have the money to do it. I think they're going to go after the high rollers. You put $1 million in, you get $100 million out. The moment you put $1,000 in, you might get $10,000 out. But people who've got the balls to do that and target these high rollers, I think will be interesting times ahead. I think also people might form consortiums. You put $10,000 each into a group, like an investment syndicate. Put $10,000 each into a group, so you've got $100,000. You put $100,000 into ads targeting these people for high-end goods. It's a high risk, high reward thing, but I think there'll be people out there with the balls to do that, and Facebook will start saying, you want to target these people who spend high volumes. It's going to cost you. So that's what I'm seeing at the moment going on with the market. There's no real information coming out of Facebook. They haven't said we're doing this as a strategy. This is what we plan to do. This is what we're going to do. There's no roadmap to it. They're not saying over the next few months we're going to be doing this. Just quietly getting slipped in there. Nobody's really noticing. But the Google product category is out there, and it's consistently out there now. Interesting that Facebook have chose their competitor and their competitor's description of a product and a category. Maybe they want to share information with the competitor. Maybe it's the common currency emerging of what it is people are looking at in the e-commerce world. I think that's more the case. And because that standard's emerging, people will be able to share information about what you're doing across different things. Interesting times. 2006, I think, will be a defining year for marketers, and a defining year for those that make a shed load of money and are willing to take a risk, and those that make a small amount of money because they can only target the cheaper audiences and they don't really know what they're doing. So it's a knowledge game. Knowledge is king. Pixel Perfect app support all of these events at the moment, and let's see what happens. If you've got any feedback to me. I'd love to hear what's going on with your stores.